This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Find out more at kansasgrainsorghum.org.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Up first today, Kyle Bauer and Greg Anderson discuss BioHeat, the use of biodiesel and heating oil in commercial buildings to clean up emissions and provide domestic energy security.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I have the opportunity to visit with Greg Anderson. He is with the National Biodiesel Board. Greg, there's some changes in New York City that I'd like to talk about because it has ramifications and it addresses all issues or all the markets with biodiesel. Can you kind of lay that out for us?
We're excited because just recently the New York City Council passed a resolution, a mandate to increase biodiesel usage in heating oil from 2% to 20% by the year 2034. The mayor enthusiastically signed this bill, and now this will be incrementally raised, the amounts of biodiesel that goes into heating oil in New York City, making New York City the biggest biodiesel user in the country.
Well, and truly parts of the northeast part of this country do not have natural gas available, but New York City does.
New York City does, and actually they faced a crisis here. Oil heat dealers were really going out of business because of competition from natural gas, and yet in places natural gas couldn't fill that void because if gas lines couldn't be laid because of low topsoil and you're right into granite, you can't lay those lines. So oil heat is always going to play a really large role in the energy sector in New York City. And biodiesel blended with petroleum heating oil is a wonderful way to clean up air and clean up emissions. Emissions from buildings is actually the biggest pollutant in New York City. So the New York City Council saw this need, and the wonderful thing about biodiesel, which is now called BioHeat when it's blended with heating oil, is that it enters the tanks seamlessly. There's no engine modifications for trucks or whatever, but in heating oil systems there's no modifications either. And so the customer with confidence can blend BioHeat with the petroleum at a B20 level, clean up the air, and provide tens of thousands of jobs across the country for domestic energy security.
Truly, the National Biodiesel Board, though, has had a long history with New York and an evolution of their usage of the product.
It has. It really started with the Parks Department. New York City has about 9,000 vehicles, diesel vehicles, in their municipal fleets. And with that, the Parks Department said, well, let's try burning B20 and see how it goes. They loved it so much. Now the Sanitation Department, now the snowplows at the airports, now the fire trucks all use B20. We're excited about this because it really sets the pace for the rest of the country to look and see such a successful city using biodiesel. Other cities are coming on board.
Just to clarify just a bit, biodiesel is more than just pouring vegetable oil in diesel.
Right. Biodiesel is not petroleum oil and is not vegetable oil. It goes through a transesterification process that removes the glycerin from the vegetable oil and making it a product that burns well, even up to 100% levels in applications where it's needed, such as underground mines. By and large, B20 in cities is where it's being used. Of course, BioHeat 20% now, and I use it on my farm every day. Maybe not at the 20% level, but between a 5 and 10% level. I've used it for years. Never a problem. It's good to use the product that we grow.
Visiting with Greg Anderson. He's with the National Biodiesel Board. This is Kyle Bauer reporting. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Kyle. Folks, come back after these messages for this week's Kansas Soybean Update.
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agamnkansas.com.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways, of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.